Alright guys, okay, so I'm going to say this at the very beginning so that y'all know this is not a beauty video. This is one of my things I've been working on crochet and knit wise, although I haven't knitted anything recently. So actually I did, and you didn't get to see it. Oh my gosh, I knitted a scarf for one of the girls at work, but I gave it to her already, so I don't even have a picture of it. So sad. But it was in a variegated, really bright neon colored yarn, and she loved it, so that's really what matters. Not that I have it to show you guys. But I do have several things to show you, and I will start with kind of the small things. If you watched my last video, sorry, my eye's watering. If you watched my last video, you'll know I learned how to make hats. And you'll know that I also mentioned that one of the girls at work, who I'm really good friends with, is having a baby. It's her first one. So, I made a couple of baby hats, and I showed them to you in that last video. They were okay. They're kind of plain. They're my first attempts. But they did show me that I kind of like to make baby hats. Just because they're small, I can finish them quickly. I can use, you know, scraps, basically, too, when I don't have enough for a big project. So I've made several baby hats. I'm going to show you. And what I plan to do is kind of pick a few of them once the time comes. You know, because not all of them, I think, turned out all that as good as other ones. So, I did make her a baby blanket, which I will show you in just a second, because it's enormous. It's kind of a funny story, so I'll show you that. Her baby blanket is purple and green and cream, because at the point when I started, I didn't know whether it was a boy or a girl, so I figured that was kind of a neutral palette that I chose here. This is the first hat I made, and it's made, the first three that I'm going to show you are made out of the scraps, basically, from the baby blanket. And sometimes I noticed in the last video, the color is not very true on this camera, and I'm really sorry about that. But it's a purple and a green, and what I did was I alternated, and then I put green at the bottom. Okay, and this is, again, the same pattern I used last time from Crochet Zombie, which is a great, I don't know how to put links, guys. I'm new to this whole, like, technology thing. So I don't know how to put links to people's pages in my description box, but just type in Crochet Zombie and she'll come up. She does some of the best step-by-step tutorials for anything that I've ever seen. Easy to follow, and I'm left-handed, she's not. It's still easy for me to follow. So, you know, this is actually not her pattern, it's somebody else's pattern. I think she said it was the 24 karat crochet baby beanie, and if you go look for it, it's not going to look like this. Hers has a scalloped edge on the bottom, and it's got a bow on the front. Well, by the time I started making these, I knew she was going to have a little boy, so I was like, I'm not putting a bow on the front. So I just kind of altered it to my taste, basically, and it was really easy. And hers is also solid. It's solid gray, but she does have a video where she alternates the colors in another hat, and I watched that video, and it was super easy. I was so intimidated by hats when I first started, but, you know. So basically, I did each alternating row in the color, and then I ended it, and it was really super easy. And I have washed this, that's why it's kind of floppy, and it held up really well in the washing machine. Another thing I was petrified of is washing something that I had worked on, praying that it wouldn't come unraveled. What I do is I put them in one of those delicates bags, basically. I got it at the Dollar Tree, so I didn't even have to spend much money on that. And I can do like 3 baby hats at a time. So it's basically, and you know, it's stretchy enough, and I don't know, there's a couple that are a little bit different sizes. So I don't know how big her baby's head's going to be, but she could always use this later. I mean, babies grow so fast that that's not really going to be an issue, I don't think. The next one is the same colors, but what I did, and I was kind of, see, this one's a little smaller. What I did, and I was very proud of myself, was I did the ridges in one color, and then the background in the purple, and then I did the bottom in the purple, and I did the top in the purple. And I think it turned out really cute. I did another one of these in another set of colors I'll show you, but I think it's like super cute. And this one was a little bit harder to do because I had to carry the yarn, and this is what this is what the other side looks like. And you can see where I had to like carry the yarns across to keep them, but that's so much easier than having to like cut it and tie it and start again, and cut it and tie it and start again. So that's that one. This is just another color. This is the cream and the green that was in her baby blanket, and it's just the alternating pattern. So of the scraps that I had from her baby blanket, I actually made 3 hats. So that was pretty good. And then in my last video I talked about how I made my mom a blue and white scarf on my Addie. It was kind of a nautical theme. So I had a little bit of that left extra. So I made 2 baby hats with that. And these worked up a little smaller. I think just because of the kind of yarn it was. These are all like red heart. I think the green is that Karen. That's how you say it. Karen's, you know, the kind you buy in the 1 pound. But the purple and this cream color, I think, are both the 1 pound of Red Heart. So it's just basic, you know, acrylic yarn that you can get anywhere. This is the Michaels, it's like loops and threads. That's what it's called. And it works best in my Addie machine. So, what I did was it's the same pattern, but it's blue and white, and I thought this was really cute. This will probably be one that I do give her. This one I haven't washed yet. I need to do that, but it is super soft to start out with. So, and this is the other one, and I'm going to wash them because they have a little bit of dog hair on them, and I don't want to give them to her with dog hair on them. But this I did the same thing as the other one. The stripes are blue, the inside's white, and then I did the bottom and the top is in white. And these are all worked in the round, which I was also intimidated by, but is really super easy. So if any of you guys are interested in crocheting and you're intimidated by a certain project or a certain kind of thing, watch some YouTube videos on it. There are some really great tutorials on there who will, you know, they'll simplify it. My last finished project is this baby blanket, and I laughed because it was supposed to be a baby blanket. It has actually turned out more the size of a regular adult blanket, and I'll tell you why. I saw a video where a lady made a blanket with a big hook and 3 different colors, and she did all the 3 colors at once, and it was awesome looking. And so that's what I did, and I thought, you know, I didn't take into fact that because it's 3, it was going to get really big. I just didn't think about that when I did it. So this is what it looks like. And it really needs to be like stretched out, but let me see if I can hold it up so y'all can see. That's what the colors look like, and I just took all 3 strands and I did half double crochets is what this is. Excuse me. And I am not a professional crocheter or anything. I learned from an English teacher in high school, and other than that, I've been kind of self-taught. So sometimes my projects do that to crochet. If you're a crocheter, you can tell a little bit, maybe if I hold this back, that it's not even on the sides. Okay, well, it's a little wavy on the sides, where somehow I added a stitch or I didn't do enough. But still, you know, I've had that before in a blanket that I've given to somebody, and they really don't notice. People just are usually really excited to get something that's handmade. So if you're new at crocheting, or if you've been doing it for a while, but like me, sometimes, you know, it happens, don't feel like you still can't give it as a gift to somebody, because really they appreciate the effort and the thought that went into it. And you know, most people know that this kind of thing takes a long time, and you know, they'll appreciate it anyway, especially if it's just, you know, like this is a throw. It's not something they're going to be wearing. You know, if it was a dress or a shirt or something, I think I would be a little bit more like, ooh, it's not even, but it's a throw. That's not a big deal. I know she will like it. She's already super excited about it, even though she's not seen it. It's been a secret. So that's that, and it is huge. Like, this is, okay, it's like, it's folded up a lot. And what I told her was it would probably end up being more of a her and her husband blanket and less of a baby blanket. But still, you know, I think she'll really like it. So that's what matters. The last thing is not finished. It's a work in progress, and really depending upon how long it takes me, where I decide to finish it, she may get this as well, because it's made out of the same colors. I found that I had more of those colors in my yarn closet, so I started making a granny square blanket. And here it is, if y'all can see it. Hopefully you can see the whole thing. And it's this big so far. If it's going to be a baby blanket, I'm not going to make it a whole lot bigger. You know, it just depends on what I feel like doing with it. But basically I'm just taking, it's kind of no rhyme or reason. I'm just taking colors that I have around that kind of coordinate, you know, and a start, and the middle is a lot of this green, and then I had one row of this off-white color, the cream, because I didn't have very much of it left. Then I did some purple, and I'm on the blue right now. I think I can do one more row of blue, maybe two. And this is just a granny square pattern. Another thing that I was kind of intimidated by when I started, really easy. Nowhere near as hard and crazy as I thought it was going to be. Now this is what you would call a continuous granny square, where I'm just going to keep going and going and going and going and going until I make a blanket. You can make little squares and then do them all together, but I've not quite figured out how I would put those all together. You know, I'm going to have to do some research on that, because there are videos on that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the only project that I have going right now, so I'm sure I'll have this done. You'll probably see it the next time I do one of these videos, if I don't give it to her by then. I am going to try to make another blanket at some point. My boyfriend keeps whining because I make blankets for other people and he never gets one. But, so I may start that. I'm going to have to pick some manly colors out for him. He just started at MTSU, so maybe I'll do like blue and white, which are their colors. But yeah, so that's all that I have for that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.